Hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Wednesday. I hope that you are having an amazing week and that it's going well. I am Haley Gray. I am the owner of Women's Entrepreneur Network. I am a digital marketing strategist and business coach. And tonight we're going to be talking about why your marketing may be falling apart around the seams. And this is something that I have struggled with and that I see so many small business owners really battle with in their businesses. If you would like to follow us on YouTube, we would love to have you. The channel is Women's Entrepreneur Network. That's where replays will tend to stay the best and the longest. Give me a hashtag live if you're on the live. Give me a hashtag replay if you are on the replay. Let me know if you have ever done any of the following. Have you ever written a blog because you were told or you heard that it was a good thing to do? Have you ever written a blog post or created a blog for your business because you were told it's a good thing to do? Have you ever done Facebook ads because you heard that they were awesome? Have you ever done Google ads because they offered you a $100 gift card? Have you ever done the photo shoot and 3 extra redos of your website because the messaging wasn't quite right? And, have you ever thrown tons of money at a launch and it just went kaplooey? These are such common problems. This is what happens to a lot of people. I talk to entrepreneurs all day long who aren't getting internet traffic. They're not getting calls. They're not getting leads. They're not getting predictable leads. They're not getting the things that they need in their business. Or they might be getting this wild roller coaster ride. And it's usually kind of one or the other. I either getting more leads than they can handle, and then it's this wild roller coaster ride because they get leads and they get clients, and then they're like, tick, 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 and then they're like racing to try to keep up with the clients and can't keep up with the clients. And they drop out, they stop doing all their marketing activities, and everything kind of goes haywire, right? And then you go right down the hill, and then, it's like, okay, I've got to go work on leads again, and then down. We've all done it. I mean, honestly, we have all done the crazy nuts, wild roller coaster ride with our marketing. I mean, I don't know an entrepreneur out there that hasn't done it to some extent or another. And to some extent, some of this is, growth pains because you're trying to hold, and add revenue so that you can afford to hire people and all that fun stuff. And Charlene says the roller coaster, right? And the thing that is frequently missing for people, it's not that they're not doing ads. It's not that they're not building the funnels. It's not that they're not doing the things. The problem is that they're doing the things, the tactics, the pieces and parts, but there's no real strong strategy behind what they're doing. There's no strong plan behind the marketing. So what ends up happening is the roller coaster. You don't get your clients, you don't get your leads, you get frustrated, things fall apart. And I see it happen, and I've kind of been on the receiving end of it because my agency, we do ads for people. We do, we do the tech pieces for people. And there's one of the lessons that I've had to learn over time is that the Google ads, the Facebook ads, the website, the landing page, the funnel, the things, the blog, the Pinterest, the social media, those are all tactics. Those are all just things. But if they're not tied together with an overarching plan and strategy, it all just kind of unravels apart at the seams. And why is that? Because We don't really know how much a client is worth to us. How much is a client worth to you? How much of that is profit? I hear people online talk a lot about oh, I made 7 figures. Well, y'all, it's not profitable if you made 7 figures and you spent 8, right? If you don't know how much things are costing, if you don't know how much a client is worth to you, if you don't know what your market is, it's really impossible to have a strong strategy. Yeah. Hoping that aspiring entrepreneurs look for mentors and coaches, learning as soon as possible to work smart with strategies that are proven to work to help you save time and make more money. I mean, exactly, right? And I ask people all the time, they'll come to me and they're like, well, can you do Facebook ads for me? And I'd be like, I can. The question is, does it make sense for your business? And I've talked to people, and if I'm talking to a flooring contractor, Facebook ads may not make a hill of beans worth of sense to a flooring contractor or to my auto mechanic or to, somebody who does, brick and mortar kinds of things, my acupuncturist, as much. But if you're a coach, doing Google ads may not make a hill of beans worth of sense. So you've got to know what works for you, what's not going to work. And then you've got to know what your overall strategy is, who your clients are, where you're going to get them from, what they like. And then the biggest thing is, what do you like to do for marketing? I see people all the time. They're like, I really hate social media. I don't like Facebook. I really, really hate it. Okay, then why are we doing Facebook in your business? Well, somebody said I needed to do Facebook. That's not a very good reason to be doing Facebook. Or I hear from people all the time, well, such and such said I needed to do blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't care how big of a guru they are. If somebody is telling you to do stuff that you absolutely hate in your business, go find another way to make it work for you. Go find another tactic. Put together another strategy that's going to work for you. Well, such and such said, if I follow this 3-step process. First of all, if you're not on that person's wavelength, it's never going to work, because you're going to interpret it one way and you're going to do something completely wrong. And without strategy, it is just busy work. Thank you, Ann Carden. And you're just going to do stuff for the sake of doing stuff. And it's not going to yield clients, or it's not going to yield the return on investment that you need. So figure out who your clients are. Figure out what a plan is that you have, when you're doing stuff, how you're doing stuff. I see so many entrepreneurs that struggle with doing stuff at the absolute last minute, and I do to some extent. But, one of the things that I've been working on steadily over time is checklists and timelines, and making sure that things are getting promoted in a timely manner so that we can launch, so that we can get things done without having to pull all of our hair out. And that's how it works the most effectively, is if you're not doing everything at the beyond last minute. I mean, I know, look, we got into entrepreneurship because we're entrepreneurs by nature. And a lot of us, me included, sometimes try to do too much, and we sometimes procrastinate. And that's all well and good, but ultimately at the end of the day, it yields more roller coaster than we really want. And it does tend to make things fall apart. And it also means that we can't delegate and we can't hire things out, and it makes it really, really difficult to scale. I speak from experience. I've done it. So your marketing may be really, really struggling because you're doing the Facebook ads. But if you're just doing the Facebook ads and it doesn't all tie together with how your business is done, it's not going to make any sense. If you're doing Facebook ads too early on in your business, it's going to fail. If you're doing Facebook ads before you have any kind of an audience and you don't know exactly who your audience is, and you're not willing to put a good amount of money into it, it's going to be a challenge. You're going to have to spend a lot more money on it, and it's probably not going to work. You're probably going to be convinced that it really, really, really doesn't work. Do I share timelines for launches for things like podcasts or for selling a low ticket item? Yes, I do with my mastermind group, with my coaching clients. I do work on people who, if I'm working on with them, consulting, we do work on timelines for launches. We absolutely do the pre-work. Right now, I'm doing my social selling mastermind, and we've been talking about all of the steps that you have to do in a launch. So one of the things we're doing is working through the entire launching process. So whether you're launching a podcast or whether you're launching a low ticket item or a higher ticket item or a challenge, we're talking about a lot of the foundational pieces that you need and what you need to do all along the way to be able to have a successful launch. And one of the things that we don't talk about enough online or acknowledge sometimes is that it takes time to get these things right. And it's not instantaneous. So something like a podcast is going to require copywriting. It's going to require graphics creation. It's going to require, pre-promotion. It's going to require a lot of things to get it ready to go. Or even a low ticket item, you're going to want to understand like what that low ticket item sells into, unless it's just a standalone. You're going to want to have some kind of process around it, unless you've got the ability to do all the tech yourself. Now, I have a couple of low ticket items that are like $19.97, and I don't do a lot of launching around them. I just kind of throw them up. But I've also got 71,000 people in my Facebook group and a fairly large number of followers overall online and a fairly extensive email list. So I don't have to do a whole lot of launching around the little bitty stuff. But when we start talking about doing the bigger stuff, there really does need to be a timeline and a launch and a plan, or it all falls apart because you're not going to be able to get everything in. So if you're doing a summit, typically it's going to take around 4 to 6 months to get all of the pieces and get them right. Unless you're doing every single piece of the tech yourself and you're completely comfortable doing all that. Otherwise, because you've got to ferry it around and get other people to do stuff, it takes a little bit longer when you've got somebody else doing it. But these are absolutely things that we work on in the mastermind, is the timelines for launches. And you've got to have a strategy behind it, and you've got to have a plan behind it. One of my fondest sayings is, if you don't have a plan in business, you have a plan to fail. So often it's easy to go and start generating PR, generating traffic. I've done it. Doing all the things, doing all the fun stuff rather than doing all the planning pieces behind it, which, trust me, are not nearly as much fun. They really aren't. The planning, the processes, the procedures that need to happen in business. And I'm sitting here, I've been chatting with my operations manager tonight. We're really working on checklists and processes and procedures so that everything happens smoothly. Those things are not the fun, sexy parts of business for the most part for most people. And it's the part that we as entrepreneurs tend to resist the most. So that's one of the things that I really work on in my mastermind and in my coaching clients. And then if we're doing launches done for you services, we're absolutely doing this stuff. And it's part of the services that we're providing, is giving you the timelines and the checklists for what you need to do and when you need to do it and when we need stuff. And, we delineate who's doing what and how they're doing it and when and where. Because launches, even for a low cost item, if you're really, really launching it and you're really serious about a book or a podcast or anything, even a webinar, you want to put the effort and energy into it. One of the things we don't talk about enough with books, there's this whole huge thing online about become a best-selling author. Great. Now what are you going to do with it? Lord knows I've done it. You really have to turn that book into a core part of your funnel and really work it if you're going to get maximum benefit. If you're going to do a podcast, it needs to become a core part of your marketing efforts. I'm a big believer in doing one or two things and doing them exceptionally well. Maybe doing them on multiple platforms so you don't have all your eggs in one basket, but doing it really, really well. So with that said, I am going to pull a card. I do Oracle card pulls from the Love Your Inner Goddess card deck. tonight I have another card deck that I'm going to pull out probably this weekend for funsies. But let me know if you would like for me to pull an oracle card for you. This is for inspiration and fun. Please don't go making any life-altering decisions based on me pulling a card for you, because Lord knows, don't sell the house because I pulled a card and you interpreted it as sell the house unless you were going to do it anyway. So this one is Beautiful Bandit. And isn't she pretty? We have such pretty cards. We have so much fun. Okay, so here, and this is really, really good. You can choose right now to feel good about yourself. If you've been beating yourself up, stop it now. Don't let anyone else decide how you should feel about yourself. Taking responsibility for your actions means that when you have done something that you feel is out of integrity, you do something about it that is constructive and useful. Damning yourself with judgment or allowing another to steal your self-esteem is neither of those things. The Divine Mother is telling you to forgive yourself and use your energy now to live the best life that you can. It's time to take your life back. So I hope that that is fun. I hope that that was fun for you. And Patty, that was the top one. So continuing follow-ups. Take your life back. I think that's a good motto for this week, for today. And I hope that y'all have a great night. That was 2 of my cats back here having a little tiff over the catnip and the food bowl behind me. Take care. Y'all have many blessings. If I can help you in any way with a strategy call, or if you'd like to learn more about marketing your business and doing it with a plan and a strategy rather than just throwing spaghetti at the wall, I'd love to chat. Take care, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.